should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Happy after Super Bowl Benito Bad Bunny Sunday. Welcome to the Melanated Way. I'm Linda. That is Abby. We are covering the last finale of 90 Day Fiance, the tell-all, the other way. We finally caught up, and we finally are. This is going to be it for season 7. So all the good things. If I seem a little out of it, you guys, is I was telling Abby. Did I call you Abby in the beginning?
Girl, you did.
Okay, good. Phew. I had a pimple, and I was being very, like, what's the word? Like, very, just like obsessed. So I was like on all the things, social media, and tea tree. I was supposed to like dry it out. I got like concentrated. That's the thing, though. So here's where I went wrong, Abby. So I got the real tea tree oil concentrated, and then I just put it on it. And then in the morning I woke up and I literally had a chemical burn. But then I read the label, and you're not supposed to like. It's concentrated, so you're supposed to dilute it. So now I have a burn on my face, and I keep touching it. I'm not supposed to touch it, but I'm a mess. That's all. I'm a mess. So if I'm messy today, that's why. I'm going to blame it on that.
Blame it on it.
How is your Super Bowl Sunday?
You won't believe it. I have not watched the Nito Bowl yet. I've been saving it for a time that I can just sit down and pay attention. I've been avoiding all media showing any snippets of it. And when we get done here, I'm going to sit down and watch, because today was at work just too busy for me to have time, and I do not want to be distracted.
Oh, you're going to love it. It's fantastic. I won't even spoil it for you. Just know that it's exactly what we needed, and it was amazing. And this. That's my heart.
I know he's such a good performer. I also feel like I'm going to want to just like get in the shower and cry right afterwards.
It's a lot, but it's amazing. That being said, let's jump into the tell-all part 2. Overall thoughts, Abby. Overall thoughts of part 2.
Well, my overall thought was, dang, there's not even one couple that I can kind of like root for. I was hoping that there would be one couple that's like, you want to see them go on, and you want to see how their life turns out. There are individuals that I'm interested in a lot, but no couples.
Yeah, but we knew that from the very beginning. The only couple that is going to stay on, and they're not ever going anywhere despite all the BS drama, is Jenny and Sumit. When Sean said, Jenny, if you move out, where are you going to go? And she was like, oh. I was like, that's it. Where are you going to go? You don't even want to leave your bedroom. You don't want to do shit. So, like, you're not going anywhere. So you're not fooling anyone. Let me not jump in.
Can I tell you the moment? Okay, I'll wait. There was one moment I had to pause because I was laughing so hard.
Listen.
But I'll wait.
My overall thoughts of the tell-alls, I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business. And I didn't feel closure for any of it. And that's unfortunate because, this was episode 22. So we are hours and hours and hours in. And although I loved the season, I didn't love the tell-all. I felt like there was nothing to be told. That being said, I'm going to jump right in. Manon, she had her freak out. She wanted to leave. She was like a celebrity. No cameras. She's leaving. Anthony said to his new friends that they're done. He's heard that over and over multiple times that she always threatens divorce, which I think is super toxic. But he's starting to think about what's best for him in this relationship and what's best for their son, Ben. And what I thought was interesting in this moment, Abby, is that Greta could relate. Greta's like, you know what? Manon's a very insecure person, and that's similar to me, she said. And when you think everything is all about you, and that's why, like, you can't visit family, you can't do this, you can't do that because you think it's all about you, that's an insecurity. And I was like, Abby, that's what it's been this whole time. That's what it's been this whole time. And I never even thought of that because she comes across and portrays herself as this strong, intelligent, powerful, body positive woman, but underneath I think it's just pure insecurities. It's pure insecurities. And later in the episode I'm going to tell you why I can substantiate my thought. And so
Okay.
I was like, that just all makes sense. All of this like micro controlling, all of this like mean girl behavior, it's all from insecurity. And I dare say that I've been saying this whole season, what Manon needs to do is she needs to sit down with herself and she needs to deal with her past traumas. And whether that means she goes and sees a therapist or a psychologist or something, she needs to deal with that so that her whole entire life, in her words, doesn't blow up around her. You can't move forward in a healthy, happy relationship if you haven't dealt with the trauma that you're holding, because all that's happening is you become embroiled in this toxic cycle with your partner. What are your, Abby, before I move on?
You know, at the time that she said it, I was like, I don't know if this is actually Manon's issue or if she is just a spoiled brat. But I'm willing to go with you on the ride, and I'll wait till you get to your other point and how you confirmed it to see. Because I had started to just come to the conclusion that Manon's just a spoiled brat, and that she has had the pleasure of being able to get whatever she wants from Anthony, and the idea that she can't continue to just have her way was upsetting her in that moment. But
No,
I'll go with it.
Abby, that's true. What you're saying is true, but in addition to all spoiled brat, used to getting her way, but it's stemming from insecurity and trauma. All of that is true. What you're saying is true. So she agrees to stay after the producers talk her out of not leaving. And Greta, who I feel like was literally the voice of reason on this tell-all, she was like, you know, Anthony, having a baby and having a kid together is no reason to stay together. And Abby and I have talked about this to nauseum. Y'all, just because you have first of all, a baby is not going to save your relationship, period, full stop. And just because you have a baby and you want to have the perception of the Joneses next door, that's not going to keep your relationship together. And it shouldn't, especially if it's toxic, period. So, Manon comes back. She decides that she's going to continue to film. They get back on set after their break. And Patia is hilarious. Patia was like the comedic pause of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So she sits between Anthony and Luke and tells, you know, Anthony she would give him a 7 out of 10 rating for his stripping when he stripped for his wife. And then she decides that she's going to go ahead and teach Luke and Anthony how to strip a little bit. And when I say there was 0.000 rhythm to be had between the two of them, 0.00. All she was saying is bend your knees a little bit, and I would get up and do it for you guys, but like, no, I'm not gonna do all that right now. But
I mean, I think you can see me. She was literally just saying for them to move in a figure eight.
that's it. Bend your knees a little bit, Abby. That's it. That's all. That's it. What she's doing. That's it.
One of them didn't even know what a figure eight was. Have you seen a figure eight, sir?
Yes, it was a mess. Okay, okay. I'll get it. I was
Okay,
like,
Linda, figure eight.
okay, no, it wasn't even figure eight. This is Luke. What is happening right now? She's like, no, bend your knees and do a figure eight. And he was like, I listen, you guys, I don't want to throw the stereotype out there, but Lord have mercy on you guys, because that was a mess. What are you doing? What is the anyways, okay. I laughed. I paused and I laughed. And then everyone kind of settled down a little bit. And then here is part 2 of Manon's not only insecurities, but part of her toxic behavior. She wants Anthony to apologize to her. And one of the things, you guys, and I'm going to give this to you as free advice. If you're ever on any type of set, if you are ever, for some reason, filming something, you're going to have a mic on, okay? Whether it's scripted or non-scripted. If you're doing an interview, if you are on a movie set, you're on a TV set, you're going to have a mic on somewhere. And I want you to know, especially non-scripted, we get all of this, the tea from the non-scripted, because it's called a hot mic. You will forget that you have a mic on. Your mic is on all the time, and they're just pulling that information. Okay, I can't remember what that is. It Steve Spector, Sean Spector. Anyways, how that Netflix show where he literally went to the bathroom, forgot he had the mic on, and confessed to killing that woman. Same thing. Okay, your mic is always on. My tip to you is to remember, wherever you are, if there's a microphone involved, your mic is always on. That being said, Manon had a hot mic, and she was literally thinking she was having a private conversation with Anthony, telling him that she wanted him to apologize to her. I love you, she says, which was manipulative as far as I'm concerned. I don't understand why I have a husband who acts like this. Like, why have a husband if you're going to be this way? She said, all I want is love and support and for you to stand up for me. And, you know, you're too scared to apologize and to say all these things to me. Like, she just made it all about him and how terrible he is to her. And then I thought, Abby, because she's like, I want you to apologize for what you said. And I was like, what did he say? What did he say in part 1 that she feels like she needs an apology for?
Remember when they asked if he thought she would make a good mayor for their little town?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I think that you have to love the town first and not talk bad about the town, something to that effect. I think that she perceived that as him ganging up on her with the other people, because Chloe was the only person who said she thought that Manon would do a good job. So while we from the outside, I think the majority of us would see it as him just offering some constructive criticism, she took that as some kind of betrayal.
She's ridiculous. And then what was ridiculous, Abby, was when she said to him, well, I don't know what to say because and these are quotes, quote, I let you speak, unquote. And then, quote, I let you have a voice, unquote. Whoa. If that is not manipulative, toxic, and so I sat here I sat here and I thought, if the roles were reversed, you guys, and this was a man saying this to a woman, I
Mhm.
blown a gasket, right? Because that to me is some twisted domestic situation going on there. So then I thought, well, if it's just a man saying it to a woman, I'd be so disgusted. Am I just as disgusted if a female saying it to a man? Yes, I am.
Mhm.
I'm 100% still disgusted and blowing a gasket. She said, I let you speak. She said, I let you have a voice. And then it came to me, one of the things that I'm starting to realize about her is that not only is she controlling and, like you said, Abby, spoiled and has to be her way or no way. The other issue with her is that, as we saw, and I'll speak again later in our episode, but as we saw in this episode, she likes that Anthony is isolated. So she likes that he stays at home. He has no friends. It's just him and Benjamin. Because when he started making friends with the cast, she was like, oh, you don't love me anymore. And now you have some friends and woo, woo, woo. And she likes it when his attention is all on her and he's isolated. And that, again, if the roles were reversed, I would be saying that is a very scary situation to be in.
Mhm.
When your partner starts to isolate you, it's not a good thing. When your partner doesn't want you to have friends, it's not a good thing. When your partner does not allow you to talk to your family, which we saw in part 1, it's not a good thing. All of these things are starting to line up. And I got to tell you, it seems like there's a lot of manipulation and a lot of toxicity in this relationship stemming from Manon. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. And it's really unfortunate too, because Anthony seems like he actually does possess the emotional intelligence that you want in a partner. So it's really sad to see him not being praised for that and to fall into this opposite dynamic where Manon is the one holding up the patriarchy and saying, stay at home parent doesn't matter, that job doesn't count, when he should be praised for his egalitarian efforts.
100%. 100%. Do you want to add anything before I move on to Luke and Madeline?
No, except for like the only unfinished business that we have with Anthony and Manon, which was more highlighted because this episode talks so much about immigration issues, is that no one has ever asked the question about Anthony's immigration status in France. Why is it so hard for them to make sure to always ask and cover those issues? Okay, that's it.
I'm glad you brought that up, because moving on to Luke and Madeline, I had so many questions. First of all, I don't believe their whole segment. I think they're both liars, and I think that they're lying
Hmm.
just to be on the show, because 2 and 2 did not make 4, and I'm going to explain to you why. So, first of all, didn't appreciate Sean's first question about the dogs. Are the dogs good? Like, we have precious time. Y'all are making me watch 2 hours each tell all. Let's ask the
Mhm.
perfect questions. The dogs were extras. If this was a movie, they're extras. They're not main characters. I don't care. Love dogs, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to use my time wisely. That being said, Angel, one of her dogs is pregnant. It's going to have 5 puppies. Woo woo. That's the true thing in their storyline as far as I'm concerned. So goes back to the US. He needs money because he needs to work, and thought that allegedly he was getting money from some friend that he had. Oh God, I'm so mad already. Okay. He was going to get some money from some friend in Colombia that he was going to, what friend? What money? Okay. Then he thought he was going to get money from the land purchase for where the hotel was going to be, but we already know that he didn't have any money anyway. So like, what investment did you put into the land that you were going to pull out and withdraw from? Don't believe it for 1 minute.
Mhm.
When asked if they were still together from Sean, they said yes, they're still together. They're still married, which you guys, we already know is BS. That marriage was a fraud. And this is why I say they're liars. And I need Abby, the attorney, to explain to me what he was trying to say, because all I heard was, because as soon as, and Abby's true. Abby called me out a few weeks ago. If I don't like you, I'm not going to believe you. And all I heard was, because now they're both just lying. So he said they got married in Colombia. But then now that he's back in the US, they had also applied for a K1 visa. And so they're still husband and wife, but they're going to go through with the K1 visa process, and she's going to come. Madeline, is going to come to the U.S. on a K1 visa because their K1 visa was approved. That's what they said. So then she's going to come to the U.S. They're going to stay for however long in the U.S., and then they're eventually going to move back to Colombia. Okay. Before I go on my TED Talk, please, Abby, and if you guys are new to our channel, Abby is an immigration attorney with all the business. So that being said, please explain that to me, because that sounds like trash talk to me.
Okay, so let's do some basics first. There are two ways that you can bring someone to the United States marriage related. One is a K visa, which is a fiance visa. You have been promised to each other, you're engaged. The other is a spousal visa. This is somebody that you're already married to, and you're petitioning for them as a spouse. Luke is saying that they're doing the K visa, which caused confusion among some of the other people, because how are you doing the fiance visa if you're already married? To which Luke says, well, we had the ceremony, but we didn't turn in the paperwork to be legally married. So I'm guessing what he's saying is, here in the United States, what most states do, is that you will go and apply for a license to get married, right? And then you have to take that license to the officiant who is doing your marriage, and that officiant has to sign on it the day that you actually got married. And then you have to take that license back to the authority that issues the license so that they can record that you're married. So they issue many marriage licenses. All marriage licenses don't go back to get recorded as a marriage. So it sounds like Luke is saying we got a license, but we never turned it in. And that's the only way that the US authorities would approve a K visa, is if they are not actually legally married. Otherwise, they would tell them.
Or that whole marriage was fake, like I told you guys last week. The marriage was fake. The officiant was fake. And so there was no paperwork to turn in because it was all fake. So yeah, you can still get a K1 visa when you are doing the song and dance, but you're actually not doing the rhythm. Ooh, I made that up and it sounds great.
Yeah. Song and dance. Yeah. So to me, it seemed like the way that things were positioned in the wedding shot, it seemed like it was a lot more of a promo.
Yep.
For the hotel and other services.
Bliss Hotel, the friggin' helicopter company, all of it. The wedding gown, all of it. It was all sponsored, you guys, and the wedding was fake, and that's why he could still have a K1 visa, because they never truly got married. And you know what? That's it.
Yeah. Because if it was like, remember, coming into the season, money is tight, right? So to me, the only way that they're
bad.
Exactly. The only way they're having all of this extravagance, because under normal circumstances, let's say that you originally were going to get married because the K1's taking too long, and then boom, you get the approval. Normal circumstances, financial, you'd say cancel all that wedding stuff because we don't have that money to spend anyway.
Yep. Trash. BS and trash. More
So
BS and
my
trash.
only confusion is why is she not here? Because once the K1 is approved, if they're saying it's approved, then you have a limited amount of time that you must enter the United States or else it's going to expire.
Because they're
So,
lying. That's what I'm saying. Their whole segment was a lie. All of it's a lie. They're not even together anymore. There's no K1. There was no marriage. Period. There was no hotel. There was none of it. He didn't have any.
mhm.
He borrowed $3,000 from his dad. So when I get to the rest of it, all of it's lies. Their whole relationship is a lie, and this segment is a lie. And you guys wasted my time. And he's checking for Chloe now. So let's just keep it pushing. Ugh. See, I was about to not do a TED talk, but you guys are forcing me. I hate liars. I hate liars. And we have watched 90 Day Fiance for too long to be snowed by the nonsense. That's why some people are like, oh, it's so scripted. Oh, it's like, no, it's not this. Some of it is like, partially encouraged, and a lot of it is just real. But them right here, no. This right here, season 7, episode 22, Tell All, part 2, Luke and Madeline's segment is trash. All lies. And you know what? If you're going to lie on national TV, then you should get your lies correct. You should probably talk to Abby, make sure that your immigration lie makes sense, because what you're saying makes sense. Like you're married, but you're not married. K1 or spousal visa. Investments, but not investments. Just shut up. Okay. Next, the other thing that totally was just like outrageous to me is that Madeline said that she lost her wedding rings, and she gave this convoluted car oil spill hot in her pocket lost ring. And I just don't believe her. I don't believe it. I don't believe that she lost her ring. I think she pawned the ring because they're broke. And you found out that your alleged husband is not the sugar daddy that you thought he was going to be. And so when he went back because he had $0 and 0 cents, you were like, how am I going to survive? I'm going to pawn this ring because it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not really even married. So let me just get the cash money and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. So yeah, I
Why,
think
why do people think that if you tell a convoluted lie, that it'll help make it true?
I don't
Just
know.
she could have said like I was going throughout my day and I realized it was gone. I don't know exactly where I lost it.
I don't know. But trash. That was another lie. Don't believe it for 1 minute. I don't believe it for 1 minute. I think was it Jake? Who's Jake?
Jake, where you write down the friend's name is Brian.
No, it's Brian. I don't know who said this, but someone said, oh, it was Dylan. Dylan said, I think she pawned it. And I agree. She pawned that. Brian comes on. Brian is Luke's friend. He met Luke. Brian met Luke through Madeline. Brian thinks their relationship is toxic. So do I, Brian. Neither of them are happy, which is absolutely true. Why are you guys with each other? They're not. They're playing for TV. And then they show the whole stripper situation, the flashback of the strippers. And the entire cast says that Madeline overreacted, which I agree. And I've talked about that before. And I was like Greta. I was like, if you were in a healthy, happy relationship, who cares? There's a stripper. The stripper's dancing on your partner. Big whoop-de-doo. If it was me, I'd probably be like, let's all join and have some fun. Like, not join like that. Whoa, slow down. Not like that, but like dancing and have fun. But nope. Madeline's still mad, still thinks it's a betrayal of some sort. And Brian thinks that it's hypocritical and there's a double standard there. And then my note literally says, what's wrong with her? She came in, Abby, I don't know if I was the only one that felt this in live chat or replay. Let me know how you guys feel. But she came in really hot and heavy and like mean girl energy the whole part 2. I was like, what's wrong with her? Why is she so angry? Like she was giving
Madeline?
Yeah.
She was like that in part 1. You don't remember?
She was, but she was more so in part 2 that I was just like, ew, I don't like whatever's going on here. I don't like it. It's not becoming of her. I literally said, what's wrong with her? You want to play a villain? Go ahead and play a villain, but you don't have to have mean girl behavior. Like I
felt like she's been consistent. You must have forgot, Linda, in the very first episode, she was just like going after Chloe for absolutely no reason.
I haven't forgotten. I just felt like she was more so in part 2. Like I saw it come out in part 1, but part 2, it just seemed weird. Like, what do she's just mad at everything and everyone that came on. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it probably sucks for everybody to be agreeing with Luke except for Matthew. But I mean, her behavior is like over the top. I still disagree though. I still feel like everyone's making an issue of whether or not it's okay for him to have a stripper. And I never felt like that was the issue. I always felt like the issue was if we agree to something, then you shouldn't break the agreement. That's it. Like if I say, hey, I don't want you to have strippers, and you say, hey, I'm not going to have strippers, then you break the agreement. If he had said, I do think I want to have a bachelor party with stripper there, and I'm not going to agree to that, that would be different. But the issue for me was always that he agreed to it. And I think strangely, Matthew is the only one who understood that was an issue, because Greta, when she recapped it, she's like, well, if the stripper's dancing on him, it's in a healthy relationship, then that's fine. But how can the relationship be healthy if you feel like it's okay to just break agreements that we make with each other?
It's a good point. Valid. It's valid. So I've already exposed the lies, right, that I think. So lied that they got married, lied the K1 visa, lied the ring. And then what just took me over the top was when Madeline was pissed off at Brian because she said that Brian stole their money. So everyone's confused. Like, what are you talking about? What money was stolen? Please explain. Allegedly, Luke and Brian worked in a gold business together, and they sold the business. That's what Luke said. Luke said they sold their gold business. And how he got that money is that he took money against that investment property. But if you guys remember 5 minutes ago when I said that he said he got money for his wedding from taking money against the land investment purchase, like how many remortgages are we doing on this alleged land that you bought? And then y'all, they want me, Linda Antwi, who's watched 90 Day Fiance since season 1 and have been reporting on it. You guys remember from an AfterBuzz date, like gone to all the things. You want me to believe that Luke and Brian lost $2.1 million on this gold company that they allegedly had. And from the $2.1 million, Luke borrowed money against the investment property in Colombia that he was building an alleged hotel on just recently with the $3,000 that he borrowed from his dad to get there, that he gave whatever money to Brian, $150,000 to Brian that Brian owes him, and Brian's like, yeah, pss, pss, pss. That's nothing. He'll get it back. Who?
Raise your hand if you believe any of this.
Abby, who do they think we are? When I said that all lies and the math is not mathing, and you guys know me, you guys know that I will pause something so that when my mind is trying to put two and two together, it's not making sense. I pause so that until it makes sense. I didn't even pause it because I knew as soon as they were talking about a K1 versus spousal that this was all going to be lies, because we already know everything was fake. So now, what gold business? What? Okay. So Luke, you're a trader now. You have a commodities license now, and international at that. And you and Brian, who you guys, sorry, it's not about the stripper. I'm just making a point. You guys got a $50 stripper to come to the house because you guys couldn't go out and actually afford the real strippers and pay lots of money, the 2.1 million that you guys have. So you had the stripper come to the bachelorette party where there were 5 of you drinking Bud Lights. Like, stop it. Just stop it. Stop nonsense. Abby.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this story, but what I do believe is that he's broke. However, it happened. This story of them telling us how he's broke, don't believe that. But I do believe that he's broke. And I believe that perhaps he needed to leave Colombia because he borrowed money from sources that are not banks. Borrowing from Peter to pay Paul ran out. And so he decided to borrow from MS Peter. And maybe that's why he's not Colombian right now.
Do you guys remember during the pandemic, there was this little girl or a little boy, I don't know, it was a little kid, and the little kid was doing his homework, and he said,
Zayden broke.
Yeah, Brian has 2 dimes and 1 nickel. How much money does Brian have? And the little kid
Brian
said,
broke.
Brian's broke. That's what this reminds me of. Like,
right?
Y'all, stop it. Just stop it. And then the other thing, you guys. Okay. You guys, Abby. Okay, first of all, I'm not going to talk about my personal stuff because I'm just not into it today. But you guys know, like, I'm on the dating scene. And I said this at the beginning of the season, the dangly earrings for men, I'm not a fan of it. And Luke tends to switch them out where he like has like a silver dangly and then a gold dangly. And it's very distracting to me because I'm like, are you a pirate like Johnny? What's happening right now? Your earring is distracting me. All right.
Listen, Luke wants to feel bonita.
Exactly.
He does. Yaslo saying, by the way, shout out to the live chat. We've got some longtime watchers in there. I always appreciate you guys coming and give your opinion. But yeah, Joslo, he does. Joslo said Luke is a mining engineer and makes a good salary. He is. He does make a good salary, but as his father told us, instead of just making his good salary, he keeps trying to participate in these get rich quick schemes.
Yeah,
instead of working consistently. So
I'm not into it. I don't see the live chat for some reason today, but thank you for sharing those things, Abby. Okay, so Madeline doesn't want Luke and Brian to be friends. Luke's like, oh, but I love Brian. And then she freaks out. She's like, okay, it's over. We broke up. It's over. If you love him, it's over. And then Luke's like, no, we're still together. And I was like, okay, here is toxic relationship number 5,000. Because what? Like, you guys throw out breakups like, oh, we're broken up. No, we're not. We're gonna get together. No, like, I don't roll like that. If I say we're broken up, we are broken. That is it.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, it's not. It's toxic.
And I will tell you from the immigrant groups that I participate in, a lot of people have normalized this kind of conversation. They don't see it as being emotionally abusive or manipulative to their partner. But when you have someone here in the United States that's dependent on you because they can't work, a lot of times they have no transportation. A lot of times you live in cities where they don't have access to public transportation. It is absolutely abusive to continuously threaten to break up with that person who's 100% dependent on you.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Disgusting. Anything else you want to add before I move on to Manon again?
Nope, let's go with Manon.
So Manon, if they're on break, she sees Anthony talking with other cast members. She's like, oh, he has friends now. He doesn't care about me. And I was like, this is what I'm telling you, Abby, to go to further my original thought at the top of the show, where I think that she is a manipulator and an isolator, and dare I say, some type of domestic terror, because she doesn't want him to have friends. And for him having friends, she's saying that now he doesn't care about her because she's had him isolated for so long that she can't imagine. That's why, think about it, Abby. He was a stay-at-home dad. She didn't respect it, but she loved that she knew where he was 24/7. He gets a job. When they get to France, she wants him to quit the job immediately because that means he might be staying out overnight. That might mean he's working late. She doesn't want that. Now he's making friends with the cast members, and she doesn't want that either. That's isolating. That is manipulation. That is domestic terror. And if it was flipped and it was a man doing the same thing, we would say that that's emotional abuse. And that's exactly why I said I'm sticking to what I'm saying. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Manon, unfortunately, is not making a good case that she's a good partner.
Absolutely not. Listen, and I think I'm jumping ahead, but I'm going to say it now anyways. Who you are when you come into a relationship, you know that saying, and again, you guys know how I'm with sayings, so I'm just going to make it my own. And I don't mind that because now I know I'm a trendsetter because you all say what I say after you make fun of me. But when you're building a house and the top of the house, you have the two pillars. And in order to have the house, you can't just have one pillar. You have to have the two pillars that make it stand. Who you are is who you are, and that's who you bring yourself into a relationship. And in that relationship, you should be able to continue to maintain who you are as an individual, as well as build on who you are as a partner. But you're not supposed to lose yourself in the relationship. The reason you guys met is because of who you were as an individual. That being said, that's not what Manon wants. Manon wants Anthony to be who she wants him to be, and that's it. So they're backstage. Luke says that he's single, so he wants to party while he's in New York City. Chloe says, let's all go out. She's single too. Greta says she's single too. They make a pact. They're all going to go out. Meanwhile, Manon has kind of summoned Anthony to the back green room behind the curtains, and she is verbally manipulating him. She's verbally realizing that she's not realizing, but she is in her mind realizing that she is losing control of her husband. And she decides that she wants to leave again. And she says that she doesn't want to be there anymore. She thinks that Anthony doesn't love her anymore. She wants to stop fighting with him. And instead, because men are so simple. They're so simple. Okay? They're so simple. The F's, because I can't say them all, but feed me, F me, F. Do you know those? The F's?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. They're very simple. So what does Manon do? Manon says, I just want to be naked in bed with you. I want to hug and talk. And I can prove that I can change. Guess what happens? He's like, okay. She's like, I want to go. I don't care about other people's lives while our lives are spiraling. I want to go and fix our marriage. And
Right.
I want to be naked in bed with you. And I want to talk to you. And I want to change. Bullshit.
And then she dials up the charm. Thank you so much. Do you have that bag? Oh, thank you for carrying that bag.
All of it.
Faisy said, did Manon just kidnap her husband from the studio away from all of the bad influences? Like she knew she couldn't control him anymore, so she had to reprogram his mind in private?
100%. That's 100%. Whoever said that, 100%. She was like, I need to get him away from rational minds and outside opinions because he's going to start thinking for himself. I need to go and self-isolate him again and love bomb him and sex him up and yes him back into submission. Period. Full stop. And you know what? He fell for it.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Well, he fell for it, but also I think that he probably sensed this overwhelming, she wants me, and it's probably difficult for him to not feel good about that. As manipulative as it is, it's probably difficult to not feel good when somebody is overtly expressing how much they want you. Right? Because it's been all of this for the past however long they've been in that studio. She's been berating him. And all of a sudden she says, I want you. I want to lay with you. I want to be with you. I want to hold you.
I want to be
probably so difficult for him not to respond to that.
100%. Disgusting. Like the manipulation and love bombing is disgusting to me. Do you want to add anything else before I move back to Patia and Dylan?
Nope, let's go. Patia and Dylan.
12 years she waited to get the same ring that she got 10 years ago. You guys, I'm still not over it. It's not acceptable to me. No. She's back in Texas from Tasmania. She's living back in Texas. And then they play the replay of when Dylan accused her of sleeping with her customers, champagne room, all of that stuff. But allegedly Dylan doesn't think that anymore. He said that he let his imagination get the best of him, ran wild, and he apologized to her, which Abby and I already told you it was his own insecurities that he was spewing on her because he's insecure when it comes to relationships and he needs to work on that. And the second thing that Abby and I didn't understand is you're in the same industry. So all these things you're saying that you don't understand makes no sense because you're in the same industry.
I will give a shout out to Dylan here because he gave a full apology And we know that he's already apologized to Patia about this in the past, but even still, in this format, he gave an apology and then he directed again to Patia, I'm sorry I said that. That wasn't right. And that's what you're supposed to do when you offend your partner. You're not supposed to go, I already said I'm sorry. I already apologized. I already dealt with that. You apologize as many times as necessary in the different formats for who was also exposed to the disrespect you showed your partner.
Yeah, I'm still up for it. I don't care. You shouldn't have done it. But yeah, I appreciate the
Yeah, he
apology.
should.
I appreciate the apology to her, but still, I'm not a fan at all. Period. They're still engaged allegedly.
Going on 13 years.
They're still engaged. I'm sorry, I got stuck for a second there. I like circuited out like, but I'm back. So it didn't work out because Padilla doesn't like the simple life, simple country life. Apparently, that's what Dylan was trying to give her. So they have retooled their relationship. They're still gonna get married. But they've applied. Well, they're going to apply for the K1 visa. So he's going to come to the U.S., Abby, in a couple of weeks. He said he's going to be there for 3 months, and while he's there, they're going to look into the K1 visa. So I'm assuming that he's coming on a visitor's visa. He has 90 days to hang out, and in those 90 days, they want to convert into a K1 visa. He's still going to have to go back to Tasmania until that visa K1 is approved. Am I correct, Abby?
I don't think that's what they're really going to do. I think that what they are probably intending to do is that once he arrives on his visitor's visa, that they will get married in the United States and then go ahead and file the spousal visa here in the US. But you can't come on national TV and say, I'm planning to enter the US on a visitor's visa with the intent to stay and apply for an immigrant visa.
Makes sense. But technically, if they're going to do what he said he was going to do, he could come on the visitor's visa, look into the K1, then apply, but he would have to go back, right?
Correct. If that's what they truly do, then he would have to go back. But what is the need to look into the K1 visa when he gets here? You can look into it from Australia.
Lord, have mercy on all of us. Yeah, that makes sense. They bring Joe on, and remember, Joe's the mom that has been causing all the problems, and apparently Patia and her relationship has just gone into the gutter. There's no relationship. Allegedly, Dylan says it's at -10, and Patia still thinks it's an age issue, that the mom never fully embraced the relationship because of her age. They showed never seen before behind the scenes footage of Dylan and Patia's engagement. And listen, y'all. Okay. Listen. They got engaged, and 30 seconds later, he called his mom on FaceTime. Now, no. I'm just saying, like, Abby, sorry to put your business out there, but Abby's been married. I've been proposed to, engaged. What you're not about to, what you can do to kill the moment, to kill the romantic moment, is propose to me and then call your mama. Because after you hang up, then what? Right? Now, if propose and like we have our moment and all is well, and then we're like, okay, together we're gonna call all our family members later and tell them, but 30 seconds later, 5 minutes later, yeah, you're done. What are your thoughts, Abby? Because That's my thought.
My first thought was, I hope nobody ever surprises me with an engagement. Yeah, I'm the worst at reacting to surprises. I just don't surprise me. Just give me a text first. Let me get my face together. Um, I'm never. This girl told me in the hallway when we were in school one time that she was pregnant, and I was like, "What does that got to do with me?"
Oh,
I just had so many things on my mind at the moment. I'm just not a person to be surprised with anything.
I like surprises. I like surprises, but don't surprise me with a recycled ring that you already showed me, and don't call your
Yeah,
mom 5 seconds later if you think you want to get lucky later. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Let us have a plan
exactly.
that will.
Exactly. All this time she's been complaining about mom, and you want to call her immediately.
Yeah, let us have a plan and we'll do it together at a later time. But this is supposed to be our special time, and if it's not, shame on you. That's it. That's
Right.
why it's weird, and that's how they made this whole thing weird. Um,
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
How is it possible, or do you believe it's possible that Joe does have a problem with Patia's age, or is this in Patia's head?
No, she has a problem with Patia's age.
And she's just and Dylan and her are joined together and denying it and making Patia look like she's made it up.
100%. She doesn't want to
Okay.
look like she is the evil mother-in-law to be. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and I know people like this where they're smiling and agreeing and nodding in your face, but they're completely different with everyone else. And that's what she's doing. She's gaslighting Patia because she doesn't come across as the bad person. Um, the mom, Joe, says that Patia is jealous of her and needs to work on herself. And I laughed because Submit, Mama's Boy, Luke, which was kind of weird because when asked about his mom, he like passed over it and said he was close to his dad, which okay, we already know that, but there's a backstory with the mom. I don't know what it is, but he did not want to talk about it. And Johnny, whose mom has passed, but so the men that have mom issues all like circled around Joe saying that, which I thought was just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought on Jen/Lynn, aka Lynn. I'm not going to get into any of it because I was like, first of all, I don't even remember you. Did you remember her?
No, I only remember the nephew that we did not think was really a nephew.
Yeah. Who was the stripper friend Lynn? Like, I don't
I don't remember this person being mentioned at all. I was
at
like, are there
all.
some scenes that we are not seeing?
I don't know, but if that's the case, then poor edit producers. Like what? Because who? I was like, who is this? Anyway, she was talking about phone calls, inappropriate conversations between Dylan and his mom, and gyno appointments, and cutting off Patia. And no, I just was like, no, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you are. I don't care about this. We already know that he talks to his mom way too much and he's a mama's boy. That's all I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that Joe gives her blessing to which I thought was hilarious, to Dylan and Patia as he is off to the US, and she wants them to start a life of happiness in the US. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think that she thinks that she'll be able to self-sabotage and sabotage that relationship before he leaves and gets on the plane to come to the United States. Jenny and Submit. Anything else you want to add before I go on to Jenny and Submit?
Yeah, I'll just add one thing. Dylan said that the K visa process is around 12 months. I would say it's more like a year and a half to 2 years.
Oh,
Just
wow.
FYI.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good to know. Moving on to Jenny and Submit. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm not TED talking. I promise.
There, you guys, this is a segment where I had a moment that I had to pause because I was laughing so incredibly hard at something that was not meant to be funny. Jenny and her pursuit of happiness. Oh my gosh. Patia said, you got to do something for income. Jenny said, I'm just trying to be happy. That's it.
Wait, but there's more to it. There's more to it because I laughed too. This was the best part. This is the best part. That was the best part of it. Are you gonna say the rest of it?
Go
right.
ahead. That's all I wrote.
Yeah, so Jenny and Submit. They're still living with Submit's parents. And she's unhappy about it, but he loves it. He says they accept her and they love her as is. Jenny, this statement told me everything I need to know about you. Jenny doesn't want to engage with the parents. She doesn't want to engage in anything. Jenny stays in her room on her mattress. And I say bed mattress all day. And she just wants to be left alone. I say, my notes say LOL. Because I was looking at
I'm not a big AI user, but if somebody merged Jenny with a sloth sitting on a mattress, please send it to me. Please. With Sadna in the background, angry.
All right. I'm going to try to
Jenny said, put me in hospice.
Jenny gives 0.0 F's about anything, you guys. She wears sweatpants, joggers, and like a fancy sweater.
She got dressed like we were going to be on Zoom.
Exactly, for her tell-all outfit, y'all. She put on joggers. She's like, let me travel all the way from India to United States. Let me go to New York, which is one of the fashion capitals, and let me just throw some joggers on. I'm good. And then tell the world that you just want to stay in your room, mattress, and be left alone in the pursuit of happiness. And I'm going to jump ahead. When she said she doesn't want to work, she doesn't want to do anything, she just wants to be happy. Again, LOL, all caps. Which goes back to what Abby and I have been saying this whole season. Jenny doesn't want to do shit. We already know she don't cook. She don't clean. Okay. Her and Submit are not having sex anymore because she doesn't feel like it because she's unhappy at the house. Okay. She wants to sit on that mattress all day, drink coffee in the morning, and then drink alcohol at night. And that is all she needs. She wants to be braless in her joggers and call it a day and live out to the sunset.
Patia, who is around the same age as Jenny, is just looking at her like, what, bitch?
Listen. Sadna, I was looking around. First of all, okay, let me just make sure before I say this that I am giving you correct information. Okay, let me just look at this really quickly, you guys, because I know it's to be true, but I just want to make double check. Let me just double check. And while I'm double checking, I will say that when they brought on Sadna and Annette, the mom and dad of Submit, I also died of laughter. This was the comedy section because Sean said, "Thank you." I'm going to do my host voice. Thank you so much for joining us. And Annette said, "Okay."
He said it like, remember that old Tyra episode where Beyonce came on and Tyra was like, "You're Beyonce." And Beyonce said, "Yes."
Okay.
Annette. Oh gosh. Okay. Mm. Hmm. None
Okay.
of them intend to be as funny as they are.
Oh my God, so funny. Died of laughter. Okay, so I want you guys to put this all in perspective. All right, April, pop quiz time.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny in her joggers, in her sweats, in her coffee, cooking, all the things we know about Jenny. How old do you think or do you remember Jenny is?
Let me answer this as if I'm Submit. First, I have to. Jenny is 62.
Wrong.
How old is she?
You want to try one more time?
Oh my God. I don't even know if I should go up or down. 64.
Wrong.
Oh my God. How old is she?
Okay, Jenny, you guys, is 67 years old.
Oh, she actually is a little bit older than I thought she was. I thought her and Patia were closer in age.
Jenny is 67 years old. Faziz is saying 68. She's probably 68 this year. So we'll give her 67 for the time of the taping of the show. How old is Sean Robinson, the host?
I think that Sean did reveal that she is in her 50s. Yeah? No?
Wrong. You want to try again?
No, I'm not going to get this one.
Do you see
How
it?
old is Sean, y'all?
Do you see it?
Oh. Oh my.
Sean Robinson is 63. 63 years old, y'all. 6'3". So I need you to put that in perspective, okay? Jenny is 67. Sean is 63. 67, 63. 67.
But you know what? Jenny could be doing better. But once you stop using your body, once you stop stretching and exercising and mentally like playing some games and doing some crossword puzzles and learning a new language, when you stop using your body, everything does slow down and you start getting tired. It's already starting to happen to me, so I'm fighting my way out of it. Little plug for myself, come over to my Instagram and join my daily stretch, so we can fight it together.
We've talked about this on our show multiple times, and especially for those people that are entering retirement age, you have to have your second act. And your second act, whatever it is, you have to be active. Get yourself out of the house, get yourself mentally stimulated, whatever that looks like for you. Puzzles, walks, the gym, joining a knitting group, whatever it is that you fishing, whatever it is that you like to do, you have to continue to mentally stimulate your mind, and you also have to stay active. As soon as you, like Becca says, turn into a sloth, then don't be surprised of the sloth aftermath, because you're not doing anything physically, mentally, spiritually, and it's unfortunate. And that's what I think we're seeing happen right now. And I don't know if it's because she's saying she's unhappy, so unhappy, but I mean, we saw her outside of the house, and like, I mean, when she cooked that spaghetti, y'all, I was just done. I don't know what to say. And to say that that's your famous recipe that everyone loves, like, go ahead and just get a can of spaghetti. Do they still make cans of spaghetti? Because that's what it looked like to me.
No, don't do Chef Boyardee like that. Mm-mm. Chef looks better than what Jenny had.
Sadna thinks everything's fine at the house. She doesn't understand what Jenny's problem is. She actually thinks that Jenny has problems with everyone, and that's her issue. And you know what? She might not be wrong here. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Abby, is, and we have so much more to do, so I don't want to go too much into it, but I do want your opinion on when Sumit said his parents are like gods. That was a little like, ooh.
I'm probably going to get very close to being disrespectful because your parents are gods, the cows are gods. What is not a god?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's clip worthy. 100%. That's it. That's all you need to say. And so Sumit is battling prioritizing his parents versus his wife. And, you know, if you're married, you know that you should prioritize your spouse. But I don't know why he's questioning it. But here we are. This is my favorite part of the entire tell-all, you guys. Are you ready for it? This is my favorite part. I laughed and like tears, and tears are about to come out of my mouth when I'm about to say it right now. So Jenny says, so let me give you the backstory. Sumit is confused about where he's prioritizing his family over Jenny, and Jenny says, you know, I'm so unhappy, I'm gonna move out. And then Sean said, Sean said, okay, I wrecked it for you guys. Sorry, it's just too funny. Okay. Jenny's unhappy. She said that she's going to move out if she has to continue to live with Sumit's parents. She said, I'm moving out. And Sean said, where would you go?
Jenny said, who said that? Who said that? Who's calling me on my bluff? I just like in my mind, I imagine Jenny is in that house spread out on that mattress like a starfish. Just all day.
Abby, I cannot. I laughed I'm still laughing, tears. Because like you said, you ain't got no money. You're sitting on a mattress. You don't do anything all day. So like, where are you gonna go?
Oh. Tracy said, where is she gonna go? She can't even count.
I cannot, you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this stream.
Oh my goodness.
Faisy took me all the way out. She took me all the way out. You're not wrong.
She could not get an apartment on her own. She could not grocery shop on her own. I'm starting to wonder, like, at what age her children became the parent. Like, this is somebody who parented children. Anyway, mm. Submit thought that he was marrying someone who would, come with a little nest egg, and now he's being asked to fend for himself and provide for himself and not be able to live off of his parents, and he is in a conundrum. A conundrum, Liz Lemon. The 30 Rock reference for those of y'all who remember 30 Rock.
All right, I'm gonna try to get it together, you guys. I'm sorry, but Fizzies, you just took me out because that is that is like the cherry on top of all the things. I don't even know what. Okay, so we find out that where are you gonna go? Jenny looks so defeated, Abby, because she knew it was true. Like, she's not going anywhere. Oh, here, I'll do this so that I can get it together. I did have a question for you, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Sumit never travels with Jenny to the U.S. for the tell-alls? I'm curious. You think his visa gets denied? Oh.
He's never expressed any interest in coming to the U.S. at all.
I know, but even just tell-alls, though?
Maybe they don't have the money to apply for it. They've told us that they're kind of broke.
No, because production pays for their tickets.
Production pays for their tickets. Would they also be willing to pay for his visa?
Yeah.
His application? They would?
Absolutely.
Well, then, and in that case, the only thing that I could think of is that he was denied. When you apply for a visa, a lot of Americans don't realize this because we travel to most countries without any problem. We just get a visa on entry. You don't realize it when you're presenting your passport, you're getting a visa on entry. But other countries, they have to apply for a visa before they come to the United States, before they even consider traveling to the United States. And when they apply for that visa, they have to prove that they don't intend to stay in the U.S. when they get here by showing that they have ongoing employment, that they have stable housing, that they have money in a bank account. There are a lot of things that Submit would have difficulty showing if he was applying for a visa.
I need someone else to comment because I look over and Paige's comment is still like in my face. And I'm just going to put it up here so that I'm not distracted anymore because it's so funny. Okay, so we also find out we've gone awry, y'all. We've gone awry. We also find out that Smith's brother and Cherie, his sister-in-law, have moved out of the house because of Sadhna, the mom. And the reason that they moved out is because Sadhna is a vegetarian and they are not. And so they would cook, meats, and Sadhna didn't like it. And so it caused friction. And so they left. Now, Greta chimes in because, Greta's vegan. And Greta says that after you've been vegan for a long time, which, okay, so some of you guys may or may not know this, but I was vegan for 2 years and I was raw vegan for 1 year. It's a whole other story. No time for it. But Greta said, and maybe it takes more than 2 years, but the 2 years that I was vegan, when I transitioned back to eating meat, the smell didn't bother me. But Greta says that she understands what Sadhna is saying about them cooking meats, that the meat smell is disgusting to her. But I think that might be if you're like, you've been a long-term vegan or a lifetime vegan, like you've never had meat before. But for me, I can only speak for me personally, 2 years being vegan, the smell of meat did not do anything for me. Do you want to add anything, Abby, before I move on?
Yeah, I think it might be mental. Like if your choice to not eat meat was because you find eating animals is cruel, then your relationship to the smell of somebody cooking meat is going to be different than somebody who went vegetarian or vegan for completely other reasons, right? It's going to offend you, the idea that somebody's having some meat, period.
Got
Me, somebody sent me one of those ASPCA videos, that the organization that like shows the slaughter of animals. I ate my food while I was eating it. I was like, this doesn't move me at all because I'm not bothered by animals being slaughtered. So I don't care.
Can I just say, y'all, and especially for our long-term viewers, you all think I'm wild and like talk, and I'll say all the things, but Abby is just, she's calmer. Abby talks like this, but will tell you outrageous things, and you guys don't say anything because of the tone. And I get it. It's all about the tone. But because she's so level-headed and smart, educated, and talks so calmly, you guys don't see or hear I hear everything. I am so hyper alert, as you guys know. And I hear, like, she just said, did you hear what she just said? Because I have not said outrageous things like that. She said, Faces has made you that picture that you requested. Go ahead, Faces. We're not gonna put their emails in the chat, but can we, do you follow her on Instagram or TikTok? Can we do it that way? Can she give you in the chat?
Yeah, I'm typing right now. So sorry, I know it looks weird on the screen.
Perfect. Let's do that and send it to her.
So this is, I'm sending you, this is IG and TikTok.
As your lawyer.
Hey, listen, just call me Matthew.
And TikTok and Instagram, Abby Winters 80. Go ahead and follow her. Follow. Fella. Oh, you guys don't know who Fella is. Look him up. He's amazing. Okay. They moved out. Greta understands. Then the other thing that just cracked me up. You guys, I'm sorry. I know that we have like, it just was too funny. We've gone overboard and we're running long, but I'll try to wrap up some of this. Sean asked about the cafe and Smith says that business is okay, but he's the only one working there now. What? You guys are lying. You're telling me Smith gets up every morning and goes down to the cafe and makes the coffee and does the cooking and the cleaning and the selling all by himself? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me right now?
We don't believe that.
They bring on Rohit, his friend, and here's what it's just like, it's, I don't know what to say. So Rohit said, I knew that the cafe wasn't going to succeed because, in our culture, you have your parents working there and they're not physically able to because now they're older, which I don't believe, right? Because we see Sadhna is a yoga instructor and she's bending over backwards and she's trying to get Jenny to work out. So don't tell me you can't be on your feet for 8 hours. Like, just stop it. And the dad, I mean, like, look at them. They're younger than Jenny. And then Jenny's not working there because she can't cook. She can't make coffee, and like Facey's so eloquent that she can't count. The sister-in-law has the kid, so she can't be there all the time, and the brother-in-law went back to his job. So I guess the family business is not so much family anymore. And if you've forgotten, Jenny said that she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to do anything. She just wants to be happy. And I think that was her retirement plan. It's just to chill. So Rohit goes on to say one of the reasons why the Family Cafe is not being successful is because they didn't hire professional chefs, and they needed to do some more research. And Sumit disagrees, and Jenny disagrees because she says they can't afford professional chefs. Well, what? Like, Jenny, what? You don't want to work. You don't want to make coffee, but you also don't want to hire someone else. Okay. Sumit feels that his friend Rohit is jealous of him and really doesn't want his business to be successful.
Jealous of what?
Yeah, I don't know. That's exactly. We find out that Jenny doesn't want Sumit and Rohit to be friends. And Greta's like, and again, Greta, voice of reason, because I do agree with her again on this point, where when you're in a relationship, when you're grown and you've had lifelong friends, 6 months friends, 1 year friends, just friends, okay? Friends and family, you've developed your community, and you meet someone else, and you guys combine your communities, okay? That is how it should be. Now, should you absolutely continue to engage in your community? Yes. Because who you are as an individual is still who you should be in a partnership, okay? And sometimes your communities cross. You guys have dinner parties. Sometimes it's guys' night. Sometimes it's girls' night. Sometimes it's girls' trip. Sometimes it's guys' trip. Sometimes it's separate, but you come together, and that's how it should be. So when Jenny is freaking out because she doesn't want Rohit and Sumit to be friends anymore because they go out after work and have drinks. And then Greta says, well, Sumit should be able to go out with his friend, and you should be able to maintain who you are as an individual when you're in a relationship 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. For those of you guys that lose yourself in your relationship because you're so happy and you fall out of friendships, or you stop reaching out to your friends and all that stuff because you're so in love, and then you know what happens 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you guys separate or divorce, and then you're like, oh, I have no friends. Well, it's because you didn't nurture your friendships.
Exactly. Ram says that Rohit is jealous of Sumit's hair.
Facts. When Sumit sits like this and goes like this, you guys, he sits up, and every time he has to talk, he has to make sure his hair is back. And then he talks. I'm like, your hair's not even in your face. What's happening right now? Okay. Sadhna hot mics to her husband in Hindi that Jenny's not happy ever. She's not happy with anyone because, Jenny doesn't like the parents. Jenny doesn't like so-and-so. Jenny doesn't like Rohit. Jenny doesn't like. Jenny doesn't want to work. Jenny can't count. Jenny doesn't want to get up. Jenny doesn't want to put a bra on. Jenny wants to stay on the mattress. Jenny
wants her liquor.
She wants her booze. Jenny needs her coffee, even though she can't make coffee. Jenny. Anyways, you get the point. That being said, Sadhna hot mics and says Jenny's not happy with anyone. And then Sean's like, I'm sorry, what did you say? And she said, straight face to camera, you guys, as if there was no interpreter. If my son is happy, I am happy for him. That's why I know y'all interpreters be lying. Y'all be lying. Oh, I think I had to get myself together. You have some questions here.
Oh,
If you
let's
get here
see.
to India and you're from here, I don't know where here is. I'm assuming United States. Is it legal?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, a marriage in any country is legal and binding. So they were able to apply for Jenny to stay in India based on the marriage. And if they ever had any interest in coming to the United States, Jenny would be able to petition for submit. However, I suspect that she might have a hurdle in the financial requirements because to be a sponsor or petitioner for someone, you have to meet certain financial thresholds to bring them to the United States. So I think she might have that issue.
We've talked about this in length. Abby, do you want to go ahead and answer this question? Does Jenny know any of the language yet? That's what I would like to know. Says
We
Greg.
saw her, yeah, in the episode where they had Sadhna lead in the yoga.
Time
We
out.
saw her use. Oh,
Abby, time out. We're going to rewind. I'm going to finish the question and then you're going to answer. Grab
okay.
1976 says, does Jenny know any of the language yet? That's what I would like to know. Okay, go.
Okay. So in the episode where they did the yoga with Sadhna, we saw her use 2 Hindi words. So if she knows more than that, it's a mystery. It would be a surprise to us.
Facts. Graham also wants to know about the Social Security. So can you continue to collect Social Security from the United States if you're living abroad?
Yes, you can, but the amount of Social Security that she receives, based on my own estimate of Social Security, which I'm constantly checking to see if I can retire yet, is probably not sufficient.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those questions. We're going to keep it pushing because we still have Johnny and Chloe to go.
Okay.
Listen, Jenny and Submit, just keep it coming. I know you guys are going to be on, what is that? What's the show with the 90-Day Fiance?
The Last Resort.
Last Resort. You will definitely be on that for sure. Because, and Jenny will go to the resort and we'll see Submit on the screen and we'll keep it pushing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe and Johnny. Okay. I had a moment, you guys. I had to reel it all in. And so I'm just going to do it. So Johnny wants to get back together with Chloe and feels like it would have worked out had he been more respectful, more patient, and more understanding. It could have worked out between them. I think that's him trying to fake responsibility for his disgusting behavior. I don't buy it for 1 minute. Patia asks Johnny, do you love Chloe? Like, do you love her? Do you want to be with her? And he said, the first thing he said, well, we had great sexual chemistry. And then he said, if we could start new, then and have a clean slate, then yeah, I would want to be with her. Chloe, again, slow clapping, all the things, because Chloe, at your young age, I don't know where you got this wisdom from, but I enjoy it. I enjoy your wisdom. Chloe said, hot mic, like I would say. She's like, what the hell is going on right now? Because that's what literally my inner thoughts would pop out of my mouth. You guys know how I am. That's exactly what I said. Like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, what? Like, can I just tell you can I tell you a side story real quick? A side story.
Yes.
It's very confusing to me. So, and I won't, I'll just say this. Okay. Wait. I gotta frame it properly. How do I frame it properly? Okay. So, okay. Some of you guys, you know my like show personality, right? But Abby knows my personality because we talk about real life stuff, right? So that being said, I'm always shocked in this like dating atmosphere, the type of men that approach me. I'm always very shocked because I feel like I present a specific way. But perhaps I don't. So as you guys know, it's award season here. So I've been covering a lot of awards. And this is not the first time it's happened. And I'm trying to like make it so that it's nondescript. But I'm in a room full of people. Full pack, people everywhere. And this person comes up to me. And Abby, this person is like tats everywhere. Right? And I love tattoos. I have a bunch of them, right? But I was just surprised that person, in all the people in all the rooms, came up to me and was like, bloop, 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 I'm going to DM you and woo, woo, all this stuff. And I was shocked. And I said, I wonder why. Like, we all give off different energies. And I'm not sure what my energy is yet. So y'all, that's what I'm going to be thinking about.
Okay.
And I say all that to say, when Johnny was talking about like great sexual chemistry and starting anew, and like I'm confused, like what the hell's going on? Like I, like Chloe, was in my mind like, what the hell? What's happening right now? Like the Canadian girl versus, and I don't want to be stereotypical, so I won't say what I want to really say, but versus so-and-so over here, like, what? Anyway, it's confusing. She says, it's confusing to her because, there's a lot of beautiful women in Boston, so she doesn't know how Johnny would do. Patia chimes in and says, well, there's a lot of beautiful women in America in total.
In the world.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter if he's in Boston. Like, that's not the problem. His problem is he is a low down, dirty scumbag individual. Sean asks if Chloe's single. She says yes. She's, quote, mentally unstable to be with anyone right now, end quote. Sean asks the same question to Johnny. He says, well, there's someone special, and then pauses. See how that dead air? The dead air says a lot. So he pauses. And then says it's complicated. Then pauses again. He's expecting a child. He's having a baby. Due in March. It's a girl. And I laughed because Luke said, are you going to name her Chloe? Died of laughter. Now, here is why women, you have to stay away from these scumbag type of men, because he literally threw out in the last portion of the tell-all that he's having a baby, which is the headliner, right? But does he say, okay, a regular person would say this, Abby. They would say, hey, me and my significant other, guess what? Oh my God, Abby, guess what? Me and my significant other, we're pregnant. That's what regular people say. He says, he leads with he's having a kid and gives 0.0 more information. So Sean has to then ask a follow-up, which is like when you go on a friggin' date, you think you're on a date. So you think that that person's single, but you literally have to say, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship with someone who thinks that they're in a relationship with you? Like, you have to be very specific because he says he's having a baby. Baby's a girl. Baby's due in March. That's it. That's all. Sean has to ask the follow-up question. Are you in a relationship with the baby mama? To that he says, yes. Period. That's all he says. Yes. Chloe says, is sanity in the room with me? Absolutely something I would say. Love that for her. Then, because he answered just yes, right? So again, I'm not going to go on a tangent. You guys already know what that means. Like, where's the respect? Where is the commitment? Where you 5 seconds ago, you were telling Chloe to come back to you, come back to you. You were talking about sexual energy and all the things with Chloe. Chloe, we find out at the end of the show in the highlights, was actually going to go back to Aruba. And I know she was going to go back to hook up because, you know, when you have great sex, you want to always have great sex. And I get it. It's toxic and stuff, but she thinks that she's going to be able to separate the two, but she's not. She's going to be sucked into some drama. And that's why she started crying when she found out that Johnny was having a baby, because she had planned to go and see him. And he didn't tell her anything because he's a low down, dirty scoundrel. He's a terrible individual, a terrible partner, a terrible human being. And he lies and he's a cheater. And he now is having a baby that's coming any minute now and didn't tell her. And that's why she was crying, you guys. She wasn't crying because he kept making it seem like she was crying because she was so still in love with him. Oh, woe is me. I still love you so much. That's what he was making. No, he's been lying in her ear the whole time. They probably were like still text messaging and DMing. And she decided that she was going to take a trip and see him again and think it was going to be casual, great sex, when really he's been lying again. So it's a slap in her face for a second time. And as women, we do not like liars, and we do not like to be fooled not once, but now twice. Because now you've wasted her time. And what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or whatever it is. But she was more pissed off with herself because she let him reel her in again. And he's still the same liar, cheater that he was when she found it the first time. That's what she was crying about.
Agreed.
When asked, so having a baby, baby's a girl. Are you in a relationship? Yes. Are you going to marry her? Most likely, he said. Okay. Chloe, upset, crying. And my note literally says, Johnny is wild and mean and an awful individual. And that's it. I like why she is so upset, and I explained to you why I think she's so upset. Do you want to add anything, Abby?
I just want to say to the young lady who is currently having a child with Johnny, it might feel as though you have to stay in this with him because you have a kid, right? You don't. You just watch this man who says that he is most likely going to marry you pine over someone else because he didn't realize that she still had feelings there that he could take advantage of. He does not intend her any good. He just says, oh man, there's some feelings there I could have exploited, and I didn't know about that. And all that he cares about, he doesn't care about your feelings because you're going to see this one day. All he cares about is, and I quote, I don't want people to see me as evil.
Yep. That part.
So go ahead. And, you know, it's too late for the abortion, but you can still have some very strong co-parenting boundaries to avoid getting sucked into his life.
That part. That part, and you know what? She's a beautiful individual, and they listen, you guys. I'll give you the tea at another time. Run, girl, run. You are too beautiful to deal with the nonsense. That being said, let's shout out one of our live chatters. Graham 1976 has been married or together with her partner for 55 years, y'all. 55 years. And she says, I wish I could show you the poem people for me on our anniversary, 55 years together. And it's called Hummingbird. In November, he wrote it. Love that for you. Happy anniversary. 55 years, you guys. Cool.
If you feel like it, when this episode goes up, come into the comments and put Hummingbird there. I'd love to read it.
Salut. Congratulations. That is a beautiful love story. I wish more relationships could last that long and stand the test of time. That being said, you guys, we're wrapping for tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to Abby's Instagram, my Instagram, our TikToks. Follow us all over social media. And we will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye for now.
Ta-ta. TTFN.